5 defensive starters out. Those guys played their ass off. They really did. They played hard, and I appreciate that.
Despite the turnovers, they're still a touchdown away from tying this thing up.
I think Buffalo, they're still talented. They're going to make this a game. They're going to get back going. Josh Allen's going to get hot. So I expect this game going to the fourth quarter and be a tight one.
Despite all the turnovers in this game, this Buffalo Bills defense put their heart and souls out there for Buffalo. Remarkable effort. 4 turnovers by this Buffalo Bills offense. Almost 5 turnovers. Denver Broncos literally almost lost.
Can't turn the ball over, period, let alone 4 times.
And the analytics say Courtland Sutton's touchdown catch only had a 3% chance at getting it. For the Buffalo Bills to almost pull this game off just shows you how remarkable this team can actually be. It shows you the potential of what the Buffalo Bills are capable of. If we didn't have these turnovers, I think there's a high likelihood that the Buffalo Bills would have won this game, just like all the other losses this season. And every loss the Buffalo Bills have had this season, it directly correlates with the turnovers. People are calling for Sean McDermott's head still. They're calling for Ken Dorsey's head. But this game had nothing to do with the coaches. It had everything to do with the execution and the players on the field. Yes, I know 12 men on the field at the very end of the game, which they did miss that field goal, which the Bills would have won. But, you know, Sean McDermott in his press conference interview after the game flat out said that they practiced that all week long.
We practiced 2 or 3 times that this week, the substitution from dime to field goal block. And at the end of the day, we didn't execute it.
Even Mitch Morris openly admitting that it boils down to the execution and all of us executing better.
We just have to execute when our number's called.
So the Bills start their opening drive, their opening play of the game with this fumble, a stripped fumble on James Cook, who got benched, unfortunately, and actually came back in and started balling out. But this was the very first play of the game. Once again, the Bills start the game with another turnover, hyping up those Denver Broncos, losing the momentum to the opposing team. On the second drive of the game, Josh Allen finds an open Gabe Davis, in which it hits him in the hands, pops up in the air, and gets picked off. Now, this to me has nothing to do with Dorsey. It has everything to do with Gabe Davis not catching the football. This is execution of Gabe Davis. If that ball hits you in the hands, you have to catch it. Now, I know this was somewhat a hard throw by Josh Allen. We're going to get a different look at it. But again, this is the execution. You have to come down with these footballs. Josh Allen throws a rope to an open wide receiver, and you can see just threading the needle there in between the defense. It's a great read. It's a great throw, but Gabe Davis hits him in the hands and gets picked off for our second turnover of the game. 42 seconds before halftime, the Buffalo Bills were without timeouts. We were down by 5 points at this point. Josh Allen clearly wanted to score some points before half, and we're going to hear a clip later in this video about taking chances and minimizing these chances and how Josh Allen can prevent this from happening. But Josh Allen needs to throw this ball in a place where only his receiver can catch it. And even Josh Allen admitted after the game,
interception right before halftime.
Just left it inside.
That he just didn't put the ball where he wanted to. You know, on the out route, he just put it in too dangerous of a spot, and it gets picked off by the Denver Broncos, resulting in 3 turnovers before half. Here's a different angle of it. Josh Allen clearly throws the ball really in a bad place. In a bad place that could get picked off by the defender. He should have never thrown it. This has nothing to do with Ken Dorsey's scheme. You could see Cook on the left side of the screen open for a check down pass. Would have been a clean pass. And then if Josh Allen would have just extended the play a little bit, something that he's so excellent at, you know, if the throw is not there, extend the play, use your scrambling ability, that backyard football DNA, and wait for these guys to do a little bit of a scramble drill and get open. Instead, Josh Allen forced the pass on the outside and ends up getting picked. So the Bills go into half with raining down of boos from our fans due to the 3 turnovers before half.
Mattering of boos as the Bills leave the field, trailing by 7 at the half.
The Bills come back into the third quarter here, and sure enough, Josh Allen goes to hand the ball off to James Cook. and he just drops it before putting it in the gut of James Cook. The running back doesn't need to look at the ball. It is the quarterback's responsibility to plop it right in their chest. As soon as you feel that ball, you grab it. You take that ball. So this is not on James Cook. It clearly is Josh Allen letting loose of the football before putting it in the chest of James Cook. So this results in the 4th turnover of the game for the Bills. And this is what could have been the 5th turnover of this game. James Cook gets the ball stripped, and super lucky, the ball bounces the right way for Buffalo, right back into the hands of James Cook. And to further prove that these turnovers have nothing to do with Ken Dorsey, going back the past 6 seasons for Josh Allen, he currently leads the NFL in the most turnovers with 93. And this dates back to Brian Dable days too. It is the execution of our players. It's not that we don't have the offensive scheme. It's not that we don't have the defensive scheme on these teams. We do. The NFL record with teams to have a +3 turnover differential in the NFL is 372 and 35 and 1 tie. Teams with 3+ margin turnover in games have a 91.4% chance at winning the game. The Buffalo Bills literally almost won this game. This offense did this defense absolutely zero favors throughout this game, losing the time of possession, putting this defense in some horrible type of situations. And for the Buffalo Bills to even have a chance at winning this game, it is absolutely remarkable. That's why for me, I still believe, because if we minimize these turnovers, there is no way a team in the NFL could beat us. If the Bills go through a game without any turnovers and we still play the way we have, I really believe no one can touch us in this league. Again, I believe it is really boiling down to the execution of holding on to the football and taking care of the football. I believe that's one of the easiest things to correct. The Bills have the talent. We have the players. We just need to take care of the football. James Cook can't fumble it in the game. He can't get the ball stripped. Gabe Davis has to catch the ball. And a lot of other passes, I know Josh Allen was throwing it hard, but Dalton Kincaid dropped a first down pass. Even Stephon Diggs dropped a pass. Really boils down to the execution for the Buffalo Bills. Listen to this clip here by these broadcasters.
The balance, Eli, what makes Josh Allen great? That reward, which is right on the very narrow margin of the risk, right? I mean, how do you find the balance for him? Because I think what makes him great is taking these chances, but just far too many turnovers. Where's the line?
I think with him, he can't force the ball. Some of these deep outs, he doesn't need to be making that throw. With him, he's got the ability to extend plays. I think he needs to extend. If it's not open, if it's not obvious, and it doesn't look good, extend, scramble, go run for it, do those things, and that's where he can make some of those big plays. He doesn't have to do it in the timing of the play because he's so athletic. So I think for him is, hey, don't force it, and when things don't look good, scramble, dig to your checkdowns, and you can still have opportunities to get guys open and then make those throws when they're open.
I think Eli Manning really nailed it here for Josh Allen. Josh Allen's best ability is his ability to extend plays. And instead of just trying to gun the ball in there and take these chances, maybe try to hang in the pocket, try to manipulate that pocket, something we saw Joe Burrow do against us very well. And I think Josh Allen is ultimate best player in the league at extending the play. So why not use that ability? We're always talking about quarterback running it, but extend the play. Scramble a little bit. Do a scramble drill. Allow our wide receivers to draw up some backyard football plays and create the space and get open instead of forcing that initial throw. To be honest, I think this was one of Ken Dorsey's best play calling days here, actually committing to the run. We actually go over 100 yards running, and I know it's just so unfortunate to lose the game at the very end of the game on a PI, pass interference on Taron Johnson, something that teams actually coach up. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady used to do that all the time. The wide receiver runs deep down the field. The ball gets thrown up short, so the receiver has to come back to the ball, and the defender never turns around and gets called for pass interference. This is something that is schemed up and used by offensive minds in the league. And don't forget, if it wasn't for that 12th man on the field at the very end of the game, the Buffalo Bills would have won, in which teams never win with that high of a turnover differential. I still believe, my hopes are still high to win the AFC East. Yes, the Miami Dolphins are only one game ahead of us. We would probably have to have a better ending record than the Miami Dolphins since we're losing to some teams that they have already beaten, but you never know. Tua could get hurt. The Dalton Dart that got the Bills into the playoffs in 2017. Crazier things have happened, Bills Mafia, and we all know once you get into the playoffs, anything is possible. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you consider hitting like, subscribe. I hope you guys keep the faith alive here. It's definitely going to be tough, but you really never know. Appreciate you. Hit like, subscribe, and go Bills.